Hey guys, I'm Joel. Welcome back to a new video. This is a different format. We're in the office today. I set up the little, the little corner so you guys can be comfortable because I want to do a Q&A. I've never done one, and I know a lot of you have a lot of the same questions, so I figured I'd just compile it into one video where we answer them all. So let's get right into it. I asked you guys to give me all the questions on my Instagram, so if you don't follow me on Instagram, I really suggest you do, at E30Joel, if you ever want to partake in some activities like this in the future. Where do I start? There's 205 comments, so let's just get right into it. Will you ever switch to Euro bumpers? That's a good question. I would like to, but the thing is, they're pretty expensive now. Euro bumpers on my car, I feel like, is the last thing that it needs. I really, over the years, have been liking chrome a lot. Chrome has been the whole unifying aspect of the car, so I do want Euro bumpers. What's your What's your race/ethnicity? My parents are both from Dominican Republic and they migrated here when they were around 18 to 20. I don't really remember exactly. I apologize, mom and dad, but I am the firstborn generation in the United States, but my blood is from the Dominican Republic. How did you overcome the fear of messing up a big job while working on your own car? It was kind of a thing that you never really get over it. Every time that you're working on the car, you're always evolutionizing and you're always doing more complex problems. So it's always a learning process. It's never a thing that you're gonna know everything. There's people that have 30 years of experience and they don't know everything. The only way you learn is by going through the mistakes. You're gonna mess up. It's natural. It's part of the process. That's why I like showing you guys all of my errors, because it's inevitable. We're humans. I'm not perfect, and there's no one out there that's perfect. So if you see a video of someone doing something, just know if they didn't show anything that went wrong, something went wrong and they cut it out just for the simplicity's sake. No one is too good to not make mistakes.
I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've been working on cars for 7 years, and there's still things that every single day I'm like, yo, I have no idea what I'm doing. It's just you learn through what you've experienced, and that's really like the only way for you to truly learn. What are your plans for the E30 in the future? Love you, man. That's a very good question, because I used to think that this car was mainly just a street car, but once the forged bottom end popped up, I kind of realized plans changed. You can't really stay in the mindset of one thing, because I never expected to have a forged engine in this car, but now that it has a forged engine, I really want to do drag racing. I want to see how fast I can go. I want to push it to the limits, because drag racing is a very good sport that gives you a definitive time. Like, you go a certain speed to the 60 foot, you go a certain speed to the quarter mile, and a certain speed to the eighth mile. You can go faster and you can go slower. That's what I like about it. It's not like drifting where it's like the same thing over and over again. There's no quantifiable data in drifting, which kind of makes it, I also do want to bring the E30 to a time attack or some kind of autocross, because that car has a lot of potential on wastegate pressure. I want to become a better driver over everything. So I want to learn how to launch my car properly. I want to learn how to carve the autocross and see how I stack up against all the other cars that go to those events. Where did all your mechanical knowledge come from? Another very good question. I learned everything I know off of watching YouTube videos. That is the main reason why I like being so informative in my videos and having so much educational stuff in there, because you can't discredit the amount of knowledge that you can learn just from watching someone else do something, because you're going through their experiences while they're going through it. And hopefully, if you watch good enough videos, you'll be able to build up a lot of knowledge quicker than if it was just you working on your own car. Like Jimmy Oaks, he's a local to me, and I've always loved in his videos how he shows little tidbits of information where you don't see anywhere else. It's something that you can't Google, because it's like just very small trick of the trade where you have to have someone that shows you it. I'm by no means any kind of mechanic. It's just what I see, I try to adapt it into my working flow, and I hope that you guys can adapt some stuff into your mechanics flows. I don't know. Do you jump to put jeans on? That's crazy. Yo, there's some questions in here that are so out of pocket. And then Matt said, back shots in 8K with 17 likes. You guys are sick. And then there's another one. Where's the OnlyFans at with 15 likes? Come on, yo. What was your inspiration behind the E30 build? Why a BMW and not something else? Very good question. My guy, Julian Hooley, was one of my best friends in high school. He had an E36, a 328i, 4-door sedan. That's the same thing. A black sedan. And that car was what got me into BMWs. Seeing him be in the rear-wheel drive standard car that was just banging gears, sliding wherever he could, and just having so much fun as a 17-year-old. It was like the life, and I loved that car so much. Black E36 sedans hold a special place in my heart because they're what got me into BMWs. And I really loved the boxiness of the E36, and I didn't like E46s back then, so that's why I went one generation before, and I was like, E30s are so boxy. I love how they look so new but old in a way. But I've came around. I love E46s now as well. I like most BMWs. BMWs have my heart. When I got into them, they were extremely cheap in 2017. They were everywhere. They were cars that you could drift. They weren't that slow. They were manual. What more could you ask for? That was like BMW had everything that I wanted when I was a 17-year-old. How much PSI is reliable on an M50 S50? I say if you just want the car to last years, 10 PSI, where it currently is at, I feel like it's bulletproof. The engine just loves it. As long as it has a good tune, at 10 PSI, makes around 380 horsepower. A little shy of 400. These cars love it. But if you want to make more, that's where it starts to get a little hairy. You've got to lower compression before anything and get ARP head studs. But every day we're learning new limits to these engines, so I'm not one to say what the limit is or anything. So, top 3 rappers. Really good question. Right here, this is my Spotify Wrapped, and I don't think that it's ever been more accurate. Lil Peep has very quickly became my favorite rapper right now. Drake is kind of like one of those guys that he has so many hit songs that it's kind of very easy for him to be number one because there's just so many different styles of Drake. So I can kind of discount that. But the runner-up, Lil Peep. I never listened to him back when he was alive. Unfortunately, I don't know why. I just never really heard of him. But then after he died, I was like, Lil Peep, let me at least listen to him. I thought he'd be similar to like Lil Pump, so that's why I kind of never really... Any Lil was not something that I cared for, but he is very different to any of that. Also, what's it called? An honorable mention? What is it?
Runner-up, honorable mention.
Runner-up, honorable mention, yes. Young Thug has to get mentioned. When I first listened to Young Thug, he was the guy that got me into mumble rapping. If I wasn't listening to Lifestyle by Young Thug in 2015 and Barter 6, one of the greatest albums out there, Barter 6 is so good, then I would not be able to listen to mumble rap now. Young Thug was what fusioned it all together, so he deserves to be mentioned as well. Any plans for track days, autocross, quarter-mile runs? I want to do it all. I'm a very big fan of just driving my car. That's why I kind of went through the process of being very meticulous, rebuilding the E30, because I wanted to make sure that it was built so I could just go out and drive it and not really have to worry about anything. When will the Drift Wagon get a new engine? I kind of want to keep it NA and low power, because the more power you get, something that a lot of people don't talk about is everything goes up in cost once the more power you get. The more power you have, then you got to have new tires every 2 laps, and it's just a very expensive rabbit hole. And then you got to reinforce the rear end even more because you're making way more power, and just kind of a big snowball when you want to get power in a drift car. I would love to do a 3-liter in the wagon, M54 B30, but who knows, maybe one day it'll get an LS because I don't have any V8 power. But I wouldn't want a high power LS. It would just be something with a good amount of torque that can just be, decent to slide around. But did you get your love for cars from your dad? Is he the one that got you into cars? That's a good question as well. I'm not entirely sure. I think all my life I've always liked cars. I've always been one to be playing GTA just to drive the car. Like, I wouldn't even be doing any missions. I would be just a little ass kid hopping in Vice City, and I would go over to the dock and grabbing the little street bike, and I would be stealing the Lambo just because I wanted to drive around. That was like the most fun thing, and I would be playing Simpsons Hit and Run just so I could drive. Like, those cars
Bro,
were so good.
I bet you could also relate to having like the cheat sheet all written down. Triangle,
No,
triangle.
I would. That was too much for me as
For the
a little ass
helicopter?
kid.
Nah. When you instantly just wanted the heli?
That was too much for me as a little kid. Is DoorDash your primary source of income? It was before I got my shop. Before I got my shop, I was grinding out DoorDash because I could be very flexible with my schedule. I could record videos whenever I want, and I wouldn't have to be really reliant on a job that was like, you got to be here at this time and leave at this time. That was so good about DoorDash. But now I make all my money off of YouTube. I'm so grateful and so thankful for that. It's not a lot. I need to preface that. I just don't really spend money on anything else. The only way my car has been built has been from budgeting. I've been very stingy in every other aspect of my life so that I can afford doing what I want with my car. Granted, not everyone wants to do that, which is completely understandable. But to me, I like cars so much that I felt that it was something that was doable, so I did it. But I would definitely say the most important thing over everything is budgeting. It really doesn't take that much money. If you're working on it yourself, it doesn't take that much money. Like, I got my built bottom end, the forged Eagle Rods CP piston bottom end that just needed new rings and a hone and new bearings for $300 on Facebook Marketplace. It's one of the things, if you want to get a good deal, you gotta be on Facebook Marketplace, and that is where everything comes up. You don't really need that much money. You don't always have to buy stuff new, and buying it secondhand is the best way for you to come up on something pretty cheaply. And I would just say, take your time. It's not about doing it as quickly as possible. It's very nice to enjoy your car in stages. You don't need to rush to do everything all at once, because you appreciate the car way more if you were like, yeah, I enjoyed it for 2 years when it was NA, and then I enjoyed it for, through every stage of what you do. If you do something big to the car, make sure you enjoy it before you do anything big again. That's probably the best tip that I can give. I can also answer now, where have I been? If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I posted on there where I've been, why I haven't been posting much. It's been family issues. I don't want to get too into it on this video because I spent a lot of time typing out the caption on my Instagram. So I've been taking care of my parents, making sure that they're good, and just being there for my parents. If you want to know more information, you can go to my Instagram. It's going to be the pinned post up there. And yeah, that's the reason why I haven't been posting much. We're finally now coming to an end. Hopefully I can say that confidently, because anything can happen. But I think now, by the new year, by 2023, I should be in the clear to post more often and to my schedule, and not have to be taking care of my parents as much. But I do appreciate all the kind words that you guys left me on that post. It means so much to all of us. My parents read all the comments. I read all the comments. It means the world to us that you guys are there supporting us. How much does a reliable turbo conversion cost, and you think it's still possible to have one as a daily driver? Once it's done, you can definitely have it as a daily driver. I've been driving the E30. I don't drive it on the days that it rains. I drive my E46 wagon when it rains, but the days that it's not raining, I drive that car every day. I have full confidence in that car getting me where it needs to be, but it's just how you build it. If you cut a lot of steps while you're building it, you might not feel so confident with the car. But I did make a video. If you want to go check it out up here, or up here, I'm not entirely sure. How much it cost to turbo my M52 E30. I can't remember exactly how much it was. I think it was right around the ballpark of $6,000 or $7,000. But it's not something that you do all at once. I was building up parts over the course of a year, because you don't want to tear the car apart just to have to start buying parts. Then don't do that. Just buy everything, and then once you have everything, go watch that video so you can have everything that you need, and then you start it. And then it'll probably take, realistically, whatever time you think it'll take, double it, and then that's probably how long it'll take. But yeah, again, the question, how did you afford everything? It's all about budgeting. If you're spending $50 on food every other day, it adds up a lot. Like, if you can spend $10 on a meal rather than $35 on a meal, probably smart just to hold back on the $35 meal. Get the $10 meal, and just every time you do that, it's going to be compounded, and you're going to be able to save a lot of money. Whose SC is that in the shop? My guy Omar. That's his red SC. SC 400. You want to give anything away?
1997.
With any future plans?
They know the vibe.
Maybe I'll make a video on his car, doing something to it. We'll see. It's very hard to say plans online because it's very normal for plans to change frequently. It's not something that, like, exactly like my E30, now that I have the forged engine, I'm probably going to get a bolt-in cage for it as well. I've never planned on getting a bolt-in cage because I was like, whatever, it's not really that car. But now that it has a forged engine, I kind of feel like I have to do it justice. I kind of want to be safe. I'm most likely going to get a bolt-in cage. I've been thinking about it. I want to do a bulletproof rear end in the E30. I just don't know what is the best route to take for that bulletproof rear end. So time will tell where it goes. Do you dare to DoorDash with the new engine? I already did, my brother. Go watch it if you haven't. I already did a day of DoorDash. It was fun, and I'm going to continue doing them. It's just pretty cold now. It's 40 degrees almost every single day, so the car doesn't hook at all. I'm definitely going to do them more, though. Do that thing, clap when you jump up and down. 13 likes. What's up with y'all, yo?
Is that my comment?
No. What the hell? You commented some such shit too, yo?
No, I don't think so.
13 likes is a lot more. All the other comments don't have anywhere near as many likes, but the sus comments have hella likes. When you were first started building your convertible, did you have any idea what you were doing? Did you go to school or was it all YouTube? I had no idea what I was doing. It was mainly just, I bought the car and I didn't know anything. And my dad was like, are you sure this is a good idea? I was like, I'll figure it out. I don't care what happens, I'll figure it out. And when there was an issue, I'll just be researching everything. That's a good point. If you can't do some research, it's going to be very, very hard to work on cars, because I would say 90% of working on a car is doing research. If you can't find the information, it becomes a million times more difficult to do what you got to do. So sometimes you got to look in forums for other vehicles of people having the same problems. It's just how it is. And only after you do all the research and you're still completely stuck, I don't know what's going on, I'm trying to find the answer, only then is it acceptable to post onto Facebook. But you got to post in groups, like E30s have the Rev Limited page. This page has helped me so much. But don't just post super simple questions. That's kind of a pet peeve of mine. I don't like when people ask super simple questions because it's like, it shows that you didn't really put any effort into finding the answer on your own and you're just trying to find the easy way out. I never had someone that I could go out and like ask every single question to, so I kind of had to learn that, I got to find it myself. Like, I didn't have a friend that knew more than me that could help me out all the time. So it was like, you got to learn on your own. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you have friends that can help you, definitely still ask them for help, but only after you've done all the research on your own, because it's still a very crucial skill to learn how to find the answer online on your own. I just thought of something. I don't know if someone's asked this question. The biggest tip if you want to become a content creator or a YouTuber or whatever is make videos that you would want to watch. Because all of you guys are viewers just how I am a viewer. I watch so many YouTubers. All the car YouTubers that you can think of, I watch them. I know what I want to see when I'm watching those videos. When I'm watching them, I'm like, oh, I can use this editing style. I can use this video style. I can incorporate it onto my videos and we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, if you can't watch your own video after it's edited, then you cannot expect anyone else to watch the video. Like if you say, wow, I'm talking for way too long, just get to the point, you should probably cut down on that. Obviously, everyone has their different formulas. Everyone has their different ways of making videos. But if you feel like something is unbearable in your videos, you're the one that's responsible for changing it. Why haven't you done headers on the E46 wagon yet? That's a good question. My header studs are all rusty as hell on my E46, so I haven't gotten to it. Just because it's very rusty and I think it's going to be a massive bitch to do. But I know you guys will enjoy that, so I do want to. I do want to do headers on it. Wave check, wave routine. Wave check, how does it look? I don't even know. I feel like it looks pretty rough right now. I don't use any products. I just have naturally very curly hair, so I just wear a do-rag every night and I brush my hair in the shower and I brush my hair after I come out of the shower before putting the do-rag on, and then put the do-rag on and it locks everything in. That's all I do. What powers you to do YouTube when you're at rock bottom or see no growth? This was me literally 2 years ago. I had 300 views in the first week. It wasn't really a thing that I was doing for the views. It was kind of just because I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed making videos that I liked to watch. Again, if you just post videos that you like to watch, and you target a certain niche, then something is bound to happen, because YouTube isn't as much luck anymore as it was back then. Because if you have a good idea and you have a good way of portraying the idea, it's bound to hit eventually if you enjoy watching your videos. So, will you ever build an E36? Yes, but honestly, probably only if it was a spec E36. Like, I want a full roll cage where I can go to huge tracks across the United States and race in a spec E36 class. Like, that sounds like so much fun. But obviously I need to increase my driving skills first before doing something crazy big like that. But I feel like E36s are such a good chassis, because spec E36s, they should be pretty fast. Like, E36s are good cars with strong engines. It's not like Miatas. Miatas are very dumbed down, but I just want to do some good racing. Are you in school at the moment? I'm currently not. I'm taking a break from school because I was 50% of the way done with my degree, my mechanical engineering degree. I was at a very good place to pause my degree because I haven't started any of the actual mechanical engineering classes. I've done all the other ones because from moving and changing schools and stuff and changing majors, it's made it so my degree has been going slower than usual. So it was in a very convenient place for me to stop. Just for now, it's always going to be there as a backup if I need it. So I figured I should pursue my dream with YouTube while I can, because who knows? Yeah, I've been doing YouTube full time now since over a year. Yes, May of 2021 was when I stopped school. So it's been a fun journey. Right after I stopped school, the DoorDash video blew up, and then that was what basically made it so I can comfortably say, yeah, I want to continue doing YouTube because there is traction there. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. This video is definitely long enough now. If you guys want another one and you want to leave some comments down below or anything, let me know. Let me know what you thought about this video. I appreciate you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you liked it. Yeah, thank you for watching.